good morning. You're watching DD News. I'm Preeti. With me is Sonu. We'll present the news for hearing impaired. Our top stories first. All eyes set on External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, who leads the Indian delegation at 71st session of United Nations General Assembly to address world leaders later this evening. ISRO to launch PSLV's longest flight from Sriharikota today morning with SCATSat-1 for ocean and weather-related studies and 7 co-passenger satellites to be placed in polar sun synchronous orbit. Customers thronged shops in Kashmir after curfew lifted from all parts of the valley. Restrictions in force in some parts of Kashmir only as a precautionary measure. Prime Minister Modi invoking Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay says Muslims should not be treated as vote banks. Instead, they should be treated as our own and empowered. Birth centenary year of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay to be celebrated as Garib Vikas Varsh. Inaugurating the year-long celebration at Kozhikode, Prime Minister says BJP's original character is based on welfare of people and it will never compromise on its ideals. Prime Minister Modi reasserts that those behind the Uri terror attack will not go unpunished. Addressing the nation in 24th edition of his radio program Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister exhorts security forces to ensure peaceful life for people of Kashmir. Government initiates Swachh Bharat Week to celebrate second anniversary of Swachh Bharat Mission. Information and Broadcasting Minister Venkaiah Naidu leads opening event at Kozhikode railway station. And in sports, record breaker Ashwin puts India in command on day 4 of Kanpur Test. New Zealand require another 341 runs with 6 wickets in hand. Ashwin becomes the fastest Indian to register 200 Test wickets. Those were the top stories. Now the news in detail. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will today address the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly. The External Affairs Minister is expected to give a stinging response to Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's UNGA speech, in which he had focused elaborately on Kashmir. The Indian Space Research Organisation will launch PSLV rocket from Sriharikota today to put 8 satellites, including weather satellite SCATSat-1, into 2 different orbits. The mission objectives of SCATSat-1 are to help provide weather forecasting services to the user communities through generation of wind vector products for weather forecasting, cyclone detection and tracking. Besides SCATSat-1, a satellite for weather studies, the ISRO would launch 2 satellites designed by Indian educational institutions, 3 commercial ones from Algeria and 1 each for Canada and the United States. This will be the longest satellite launch mission that will take place, and it will place 8 satellites in 2 different orbits in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Normalcy has returned in Kashmir. Markets across Kashmir opened on Sunday and there was heavy rush of customers thronging shops as curfew was lifted from all parts of Kashmir. Traffic jams were witnessed in commercial hub of Lal Chowk in Kashmir and in adjoining areas of the city, while other district towns also witnessed movement of large number of vehicles. According to police, the situation across the valley remained normal and no untoward incident was reported from any part of the valley. However, police said that restrictions are in place at some places as a precautionary measure. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said BJP's original character is based on welfare of common people and it has never compromised with its ideals. Speaking at BJP's National Council meeting after inaugurating year-long celebrations of the birth centenary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay at Kozhikode in Kerala, The Prime Minister urged people to celebrate the centenary as Garib Vikas Varsh. Reiterating his government's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas philosophy, Prime Minister said that the person sitting at the bottom of the ladder should be the focus of the government. He said that BJP's central focus has been inclusive development of society. Quoting Deen Dayal Upadhyay, he said that there should not be divisions in societies and everyone should get equal respect in the society. He also said minorities should not be considered as vote banks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi started his Mann Ki Baat program on Sunday with saluting the brave soldiers who sacrificed their lives in Uri attack. The Prime Minister has sent a clear and stern message across the perpetrators of the Uri attack. He said that culprits of the cowardly acts will definitely get punished. He further added that security of innocent people of Kashmir is the responsibility of the administration and law and order will be enforced to bring peaceful life in the valley. Talking about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Prime Minister Modi in his Mann Ki Baat said that everyone is doing something to make the country clean. He lauded the role of people and said that there has been positive actions by all sections of the society to promote cleanliness in the country. He said open defecation should be stopped and complimented many states for their role in promoting cleanliness. He said that focus should also be on waste to wealth and invited startups to take part in this endeavour. On the first day of Swachh Bharat Week, rallies, Shramadhan village and ward-level meetings were organised on Sunday in rural and urban areas across the country for further sensitizing people about cleanliness. Earlier on Sunday, Union Minister for Urban Development M. Venkaiah Naidu, Minister for Drinking Water and Sanitation Narendra Singh Tomar and Minister of Railway Suresh Prabhu launched the Swachh Bharat Week at Kozhikode Railway Station in Kerala. Members of National Service Scheme and public took out a rally in Kozhikode. Prime Minister on Sunday announced that India will ratify the Paris Climate Change Agreement on 2nd of October, the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Talking about the need to ratify the agreement, the Prime Minister said that there is a looming threat due to global warming to many coastal countries and cities. During the Paris climate meet in December, more than 190 nations had agreed on setting ambitious goals for capping global warming and funneling trillions of dollars to poor countries facing climate catastrophe. The United States has welcomed India's decision to ratify the key Paris Climate Change Agreement. US Ambassador to India, Richard Verma, in a tweet, welcomed the decision and congratulated Prime Minister Modi for his leadership to act on climate. The Indo-US Joint Military Training Exercise Yudh Abhyas 2016 is being conducted in inaccessible mountains of Ranikhet in Uttarakhand. During the exercise, drive soldiers upgraded themselves with strategies of fighting through rock craft, cliff assault and rock climbing. This joint military exercise will help the soldiers of both the countries in fighting in adverse situations. The exercise is the 12th in Yudh Abhyas series, which started in 2004 under US Army Pacific Partnership Program. Ministry of Railways has conveyed to Pakistan that because of internal matters, there was some disruption of track of Samjhauta Express. According to MEA sources, Railway Ministry has conveyed to Pakistan that Samjhauta will run but a bit delayed. A total of 17 NDRF teams comprising of over 550 personnel by the centre in flood-affected regions of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Karnataka. The Central Force has also deployed about 60 boats and teams of paramedics to help those stranded after heavy rainfall in the last few days in these three states. The death toll in rail-related incidents in Telangana has gone up to 11, with 8 deaths reported in Medak district and 3 others in Warangal. Meanwhile, Indian Air Force has swung into action. 2 Chetak helicopters of the Indian Air Force got airborne for carrying out rescue operations at flood-hit Edupalaya village in Medak district. The Indian Air Force successfully airlifted 23 construction workers trapped on an island amid strong currents and moved them to safer places. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has urged world powers to work harder to end the nightmare in Syria as Security Council met for urgent talks on the escalating war. The US ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power, said that Russia's action in Syria was barbarism, not counterterrorism. Russia backed Syrian President Bashar al-Assad against rebels seeking to topple him. The Security Council was holding urgent talks after UN Secretary General said he was appalled by the chilling air bombardments on Aleppo and warned that use of advanced weaponry could amount to war crimes. In sports, India positioned themselves for a massive win in the 500th cricket test by polishing off New Zealand top order after setting them a colossal 434-run target, propelled by unbeaten half centuries from Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja in Kanpur on Sunday. New Zealand were tottering at 93 for 4 in their second innings when stumps were drawn on the fourth day. The Black Caps require a history-defying effort to win the test as no team has ever chased such a daunting target. A quick recap of the top stories once again. All eyes set on External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, who leads the Indian delegation at the 71st session of United Nations General Assembly to address world leaders later this evening. ISRO to launch PSLV's longest flight from Sriharikota today morning with SCATSat-1 for ocean and weather-related studies and 7 co-passenger satellites to be placed in polar sun synchronous orbit. Customers throng shops in Kashmir after curfew lifted from all parts of the valley. Restrictions in force in some parts of Kashmir only as a precautionary measure. Prime Minister Narendra Modi invoking Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay says Muslims should not be treated as vote banks. Instead, they should be treated as our own and empowered. Birth centenary year of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay to be celebrated as Garib Vikas Varsh. Inaugurating year-long celebration at Kozhikode, Prime Minister says BJP's original character is based on welfare of people and it will never compromise on its ideals. Prime Minister reasserts that those behind Uri terror attack will not go unpunished. Addressing the nation in 24th edition of his radio program Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister exhorts security forces to ensure peaceful life for people of Kashmir. Government initiates Swachh Bharat Week to celebrate second anniversary of Swachh Bharat mission. Information and Broadcasting Minister Venkaiah Naidu leads opening event at Kozhikode railway station. Record breaker Ashwin puts India in command on day 4 of Kanpur test. New Zealand require another 341 runs with 6 wickets in hand. Ashwin becomes the fastest Indian to register 200 test wickets. That's it in this edition of the News this hour. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.